Okay, I don't know how to do this. What's up, Facebook? It is beautiful flowering. And I didn't know what this was called until I was on Facebook. And this woman was speaking about it. And she said, download. Which I'm not really all into. I don't know. So, and it's funny because after I seen that, I think it was like, I don't know, a couple days later, then I received. So to me, I don't know what download is to anybody else because I just literally learned the word. But to me, it's like getting a message from a past present individual or past present person, and they just want you to tell their story because maybe they wasn't able to tell their story, and once their story is told, since the tongue is the strongest vessel, once the story is told, they now can be free and no longer can be bound to the world, and they can be free and go to their rightful place. That's why I see it as, but again, I don't know because I don't know what name anybody else called it, but what that girl said, download. And then that's just what. So I'm going to call it download because I don't know what it is. I mean, message from the past. I could call it message from the past or freeing the lost souls or speaking for those who are unable to speak for themselves. I don't know. But I'm going to stick with download because I don't know, it might make more sense when it comes to like the empath spiritual realm. And so the day that it happened, this is my second time having a relieving a lost soul. The first one was, I think, 2024, 2023, and this is where a lost soul came to me and was just showing me how they died and stuff like that. I think I made a live video on it. So this one happened October 14th. So I don't know, like, I'm new. Okay, just go with me. So I received this download October 14th and I say between 2 and 3:10 because I woke up at 3:10 p.m. And I was like, oh shoot, because I took a nap that day. I don't know. October 14th was, I believe it was a Sunday. Oh, I don't have my other phone. I believe it was a Sunday or Saturday, Sunday. So I just took a nap, and when I woke from my nap, this is what. Okay, so I don't know if October, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. This is my second time. But I don't know if October 14th is a date for somebody that's somebody's birthday, something. If October 14th, December 1%. December 14th is an important date for somebody, or when somebody was born. And then the times, which is between 2 and 3:10. I don't know if that's when somebody was born or when an event took place between them times. I don't know. But I have December 14th between 2 and 3:10. Okay? So this might be a little bit too of a touchy subject. Very touchy subject. And so be advised, I would say. So don't let no kids watch this, but be advised. So this has to do with like a sexual thing. So I'm just going to go by what. So this is a sexual thing, and this has to do with a woman. It's not a man. It's a woman, and this woman, as she was growing up, she was growing up within a family, and I think that family had to do with some kind of acting, whether it's in a movie role acting, or like um somebody trying to be famous or become famous, um some kind of celebrity, something like that. Somebody who is trying to get fame, a family that is trying to get to fame, trying to become famous, or trying to become part of the Hollywood situation. Okay, and normally you do a when you do a like, I don't know about celebrity movies, nothing like that. But I'm just going by like what I seen. So normally when you go for an acting gig or for a tryout or whatever, you have to go into a room and you do your tryouts and stuff, right? But this is different because the family was, I guess the family was so big and important that they were the one doing the tryouts. So it wasn't the dad that was doing the tryouts or the mom. It was, I believe, the daughter. So the daughter, they would be getting like kids roles, and the daughter would be the one. I think some people call it like couch sitting or couch something, when you go sit on the couch and do tryouts. So the daughter was the one that was trying out, and she didn't. So when it came to her role of auditioning, yeah, that's what they call it, auditioning. She would. The weird thing is, when it was a boy auditioning, she'll be the one to audition the boys. She would audition the boys. And it got to the point where even when she had believed had two brothers. And when her brothers wanted to be in a movie role, right? Or wanted to audition for a movie role, her brothers had to audition with her. And so the dad, that's what the dad, the dad made the rule that if it's a boy auditioning, if it's little kids, boys that are auditioning, the daughter would audition them, and if it was a little girl's role that a little girl was auditioning for, the dad would audition the little girls. So when you find out, when it comes to her auditioning the boys, so you would, I see that you have to, it was a nice shaped house, but they had to go up the stairs, and once they reached the stairs, there was like this tan or gold drapes, and she would have to, the daughter, because she's auditioning the little boys for the role, she would have to, once the clients, the little boys, walk up the stairs for a certain amount, and I don't know how far this was, then she would grab the golden or tan drapes, and she would cut it off, split it off, and then she would have the little boys that was auditioning would do sex acts toward her. She would have them do that toward her. And the weird thing I didn't get was when one of them was doing it, because I seen everything, to the point the little boy was eating a pum pum. And I guess the dad didn't know that she was auditioning them, and he came up the stairs and he pulled the drapes back, and the dad was like, "Oh, you know." And me, I was like that. I thought that the dad didn't know, but the dad knew, because the dad the one that taught her how to audition. Because for her to get in the role, she had to audition with her dad, and that's how she became. That's how she became what she was now, by being, hey, when it's time to audition little boys, she's the head boss. And he taught her this is how the audition goes. So the dad pulled back the drapes, and the daughter was like, "Oh," and the little boy that was auditioning was like, "Oh," and so once he was like, "Okay, you're doing what you're supposed to do," I don't know if the dad didn't think she would go through it, because it seemed like the energy I was getting from her, it seemed like she was getting tired of it. Like she wasn't trying to do it anymore. But when you're with a family that is famous, or that is in the acting business, or there's certain things that you have to do for the family business to continue, or to elevate, or to flourish, right? And the end I got is she was just tired, because it really taunted her when when the dad had her little two brothers audition, and she had to be the one to allow her little brothers to do this sex acts upon her. It came to eating boom boom, to enter course, and after that happened with her brother, she was just scarred, and she started understanding, like, I don't think this is normal, especially the ages, because when it comes to fame and starting, they usually start the kids at young age, and she just couldn't take it anymore. So she confronted her father about it, like, hey, and that's why I believe that happened. Is she before she had that last audition with the kid, she probably confronted her father about, like, hey, I don't think this is normal. I don't feel comfortable doing it, and stuff like that. And the father didn't give her any, like, hey, okay, you don't have to do it. No, the father was like, no, you have to do it. If you want to keep our family legacy, and you want us to keep giving you this, going to the fancy schools, and you want to keep going to, shopping, all this stuff with your friends, this is what you have to do for the family, And so when she had her next audition, I believe the father came up the stairs, because when the curtains are closed, the father already knows, like, what's going on, And so when I believe he went up the stairs to open the curtains to make sure, like, she's going through with it. Like, you have to go through with it. And so when he opened, he saw the little boy eating her, boom boom, and she's honestly got to the point where she doesn't enjoy it, but it has to be enjoyed, if that makes sense. You know, it has to be enjoyed because she's been doing it for so long, you know, and the family got so famous and so popular to where, yeah, it's not comfortable, but I'm gonna enjoy it because I have to enjoy it, you know, because they're looking at how the little boys are sacrificing. She looked at how the little boys are sacrificing their purity, their V cards, their sanity, you know, and how it's gonna affect them as they grow up, you know. And that's what I got. That's what I got. And the mom, the thing is, I never see the mom around. Even though the mom is there, because it's like it's a golden family. The mom is there. She's nowhere around when the business part of the business is taking place, and what her daughter has to do and what the boys have to do. And it affected the boys, definitely, because of having your own sister take your take that away from you, and then having to live in the same home as your sister and growing up with your sister, and looking at your sister and knowing that, hey, I can't say nothing, I'm powerless, you know. And the crazy thing is, this is not just like, oh, well, one audition. Every time the brothers were trying to do a role, play a role in any kind of movie, they had to audition. They had to audition. And anytime a little boy outside of the family was wanting to audition for the movies, she had to. She was the only one allowed to audition them. You know? So it eats her, it's been eating, and honestly, it's just been eating her up. Now, I can't tell you if this person is alive or this person is dead. But I kind of look at myself like I speak for those who are unable to speak, and I guide those to the rightful place. But mostly the dead comes to me. It's not people that, yeah, the dead comes to me. So I would say she is probably dead. She has probably passed on, but she hasn't. Whenever your soul is trapped in this world, and you haven't become peace with yourself, then your soul doesn't move on to the next realm until it's freed. So I felt like, I don't feel, but I believe I needed to tell her story so she can be freed and be able to go back to her rightful place. You know, because some people pass away with hidden secrets that they were not allowed to tell, or couldn't even, if they told somebody, they'll be like, haha, no, I know your dad is cool. Or I know your family, they help with fundraisers at the school, and they help with this. So nobody would be able to believe you because of the standard that your family carries when it comes to the neighborhood or when it comes to the school. Nobody would believe you. So this woman, I believe, she died with this secret, knowing that half the people that she took her two brothers' V cards and their sacred, their innocence, and then other little boys' innocence away, you know, and she couldn't go away peacefully. because that's a heavy load. That is a heavy load to carry. And having that hatred for her mother, because her mother was there, but her mother was not there. And then she was to tell her mother would not believe her because she was never there. And then her brothers wouldn't tell because they was able to be in movies. They was able to go to high class parties. They was able to buy whatever kind of cars they wanted, whatever kind of house they wanted. They was able to money do crazy thing. And a lot of people allow, when you have money, a lot of people allow anybody or anything that happened to them. You know, but then when they're on their deathbed, and this lady might even be on her deathbed, but I only get downloads from people who are on their deathbed or people that already have passed. That's it. But till this day, because her brothers were young, like her brothers were young, like they looked like they were probably like 5, 6 years old, you know, but her carrying that hatred and not being able to tell her story, and her by being, if she was able to tell her story and people actually believed her, it would have saved a lot of little boys that she had to deal with some of the sanity now. They would have been able to navigate life easier and been able to be, you know, the type of family that they know they could be. Even the two brothers, they're mentally no, you know. But yeah, that's the download I received. I don't know who you are or who this was for, but it is an event that happened December 14th between 2 and 3:10. And even I can even probably suggest like this event, this was probably, you know, one of the last events that probably happened. And this was when, I don't know if you either took your life, you might have taken your life, and I don't know. But all I know is I heard you. I understand. I was debating to do this because it sounds weird, right? To me, it don't sound weird. But to some people, it would sound weird because I can't tell you their name. All I can tell you is what they showed me. You know what I'm saying? This is what they showed me. And now your soul is free and you can go back to your rightful place. I want to tell the girl, it wasn't your fault. You was born in a family that wanted power, money, and fame, and took that more importance than actually being a family and showing you the right and protecting your what's that word called? Protecting your temple, showing you the right way when it comes to the world, and putting that unto your brothers, which people would call that ancestry or something like that, you know. So I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry you weren't able to tell your story. I'm glad you came to me and you wanted me to know, so I could just let it be known, whoever it's for, December 14th, between 2 and 3:10. It could have been a family member, you know, or whatever. But now you can restfully, peaceful. I know you apologize about doing it doing that to your brothers. I know you apologize indulging with other little boys in that. I know you apologize for seeing your father indulging it with little girls also. And you had to be the strong one. Because your mom was around, but she wasn't around. So you had to be strong for everybody. And I don't know, on December 14th, you was like, hey, I can't do this no more. I can't do it anymore. And it's best for you to leave. Or you are on your way. You are on your way to your rightful place, but you were stuck. And your story just had to be told so you can take your last breath and be unstuck and feel relief. Because your family legacy is still going to continue and still going to go on regardless. But you just want to make sure that you had a pure and clean heart and that you knew it was wrong, but you just had to do what you had to do and what you was told to do. So it's not your fault. You are forgiving. No sin is greater than the other. You are forgiving. Go to your rightful place. I see you. And thank you for allowing me to tell you your story. Because I did not want to tell this story. Because it just is. Because a lot of people go through SAs and young ages, but that just kind of show you when it comes to fame and money and demand and what you are raised to, how you are raised to think and to thought and how secrets, some people die with secrets and still roaming the earth. You cried out for help and I heard you. And rest in peace, my love. You are highly forgiven. And you will now go rest into your rightful place. You do not need to carry that burden with you anymore. I see you. And that's all I have for you guys. It's my second down. She will rest in peace. And that's all I gotta say. That's it. Everybody have a good, what today? Today is Tuesday. Everybody have a good Tuesday.